This is a question concerning a speeding ticket. I sent a letter to the court objecting to the charge, and I got a nice letter back saying the court accepts your not guilty plea, and they scheduled a pretrial conference like 5 weeks from now. They said, sincerely yours, and that's nice. And then about 2 days later, I got an offer from the office of the DA from the county to dismiss the ticket fine in point if I participate in a traffic education program for a $200 fee. So it sounds like I want. It sounds like I want to do a conditional acceptance, or I'm concerned if I ignore that, they might come back and say, "Hey, we tried to settle with you."
The big thing is whenever you're dealing with a traffic ticket, to me, the number one concern is to allow the other side, to make the other side aware, however you have to drill it into them as nicely and sweetly as you can. I am a man. There is no law that requires a man to obtain a license of any form to take an apparatus and go from point A to point B. There is no law that requires a man to get a license to move from point A to point B.
Excellent. Is the best way to do that via a notice or just a letter?
Yep, letter's fine, notice is fine. First I do it as a letter. Say, can you show me where the law states that a man needs permission or a license to go from point A to point B? See, I got so tired of people saying travel, drive. I got so tired of these legalese words that I said, hey, how about we just make this simple? Do I need a license to go from point A to point B? Simple. It's like,
and wait for their answer.
And wait for their answer. Do I need a license to go from point A to point B? Well, if you're driving a car. I didn't say I was driving a car. I said I was going from point A to point B. Nobody said anything about transport. Nobody said about drive. Nobody said traveling. Do you believe I was driving? If they say, well, the cop believes you're driving. You mean Bob, who's a man, who's sometimes a cop, he believes I was driving? Well, driving to me is like hitting a golf ball with a mashie or a wood or a 5-iron or a putter. That's what I believe drive means. Or drive means I have great goals and ambitions in life. I have a great drive. Now, if he believes I was driving, okay, but what do you mean by driving? Because if it's ambiguous, you can't hold me liable for it. I did that in court one time. It's hysterical. I used the word long. The thing was long. I said, okay, there's 3 definitions in Webster's alone. I said, I long for a lost dog, my lost home puppy, my lost homeland. Long as distance, as in, travel distance, or long as a measure of time. Now, in this statutory code in which you bring forth into this court, what do you believe the word long means? And the assistant chief of police gave me the thumbs up from the witness stand. At least I saw him give me the thumbs up because guess, buddy, what you think the word long means, because I could take your statute and wrap it into what do you think it means? And you think I'm not, and how? And like I said again, what's the reason why you want to act always in the capacity of a man? Because it's like, look, I know when I break the law as a man, I cause harm, injury, damage, or some sort of a loss. Now, when I operate as a driver of a motorized vehicle, I do not know the law because your law is over 83 feet 6 inches thick. I don't know the law. So I wish to rather 99.99% of my life to just be a man traveling from point A to point B in any manner I wish, in a rocket sled, in a wave back machine, in a teleportation apparatus. I want to just operate as a man because it's easy for me to abide by the law of man. It's not easy for me to abide by your silly codes because they're 10,000 feet thick. And like I said, one of the easiest ways to get out of any kind of traffic thing is like, wait a second, under 16.1-183, it says, I shall drive under 55, or I shall have a license, or I shall have a registration. Doesn't it mean sometime in the future I shall drive under 55? But the
interesting about day. Yep. That word shall, when you were talking about it earlier, I looked it up in an old Webster's, and it said the preterite is should, which gives another insight that it's implied.
Implied.
Right.
It's not expressed. It's not good law. If that's what I say to people all the time. You guys got to really study the word expressed and implied. Are you implying or is it expressed? If it's expressed, is my name in that statute? Do you have a photo of me in that statute? Like, see bad drivers, fast drivers, speeding drivers, see my photo being there? Like, there's no doubt about it. You know, expressed means it's absolutely, there's no doubt about it. You're talking about Karl Lentz. Are you saying, or it's implied that a driver, okay, at times I am a driver, guess what? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I'm a man. 13 minutes a day, I'm a driver. So am I a driver or am I a man? And I think I'm a man.
Awesome.
I think I'd caution on the side of error, and I'd go in front of the jury and say, I think beyond a shadow of a doubt, right now you're looking at a man, not a driver. Would you say I'm a driver? Would you say I'm a man? You're definitely a man. But you could be a driver. That's right, I could be, but I'm always a man. That's right. So I'm standing here as a man. I'm not standing as a driver. Yeah, see, I just love playing with their words.
and do you think it would? It seems to me it would be premature if I filed a claim at this point, because I don't feel like I've been harmed yet. But would it be legitimate for me to file a claim based on
like I said, you just bounce their own words off their own heads, and they'll say he's a player.